fix it.
Just clearing my palate. That's the thing, right?
Palette?
Yeah, like you're. Is that right?
Is that what you were trying to do?
No, like you clear like your vocal passageways. Is that palate? What's a palate?
Palette is like what you taste. Like when you have ginger between sushi, different pieces
Oh,
of
I have the
sushi.
ginger like at the end.
It's supposed to be between the pieces of sushi, so it cleans your palate.
Never knew that.
So you could taste the difference between the sushi rolls.
Nah, like shove it all in.
I know this. Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more. My name's Adam.
I'm Oliver.
And today we're going over Loki Season 2, Episode 2.
Ooh.
A little bit longer than last
A
week.
little bit, yeah. 50 minutes or so.
No post-credit scene.
Mm-mm.
And we basically get Loki and Mobius just like instantly going to 1977 to find X5, who
Right.
is back in his...
One of the previous hunters.
Yeah, one of the previous hunters that went out to look for Sylvie. And he is living his best life, his life, as Brad Wolf, a actor in the movie Zaniac.
Yeah.
Zaniac. So we have like this weird little thing where like they go to like trap him, and it was a great chase scene, by the way.
Right, the cinematography was really well done.
Very, very well done.
We got a little bit of...
has a run.
Dude, he's got like one of those Tom Cruise runs.
He reminded
He's
me
up
of the fucking
Terminator.
Yeah,
T2.
Yep.
He's got like a very stoic run, but it's an iconic run. He's up there, honestly.
And so he chases him. He ends up, and you guys see in the trailer, he like duplicates himself and corners him, and he like before an illusion.
I appreciated that so much, where he tricks him. It's like, oh my god, mischievous Loki is like coming back
because he has like this whole gang of people that are like, oh, look at the pretty boy going through, and it's all Loki.
That was dope.
Doing that. And we also get, so then we find out like, so obviously from the trailer we know like, oh, the Loki, the real one, is on the right, because when you're looking at it, because they show it in the trailer, even though they kind of get people that didn't see the trailer, you get thrown off because you think it's the one in the middle because he's the one that has the eyes glow and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really good the way they kind of like divert some attention, and how his shadows get the horns.
Right, that was super cool.
You know? So, and then the shadows like,
Throwback.
hold him back and everything. So Loki's getting even better at his powers, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then we open up, they have him, they put him in the TVA like prisoner stuff with the collar, and they just throw him in the prison. And then Mobius and Loki go off because they find his tempad, X5's tempad, that has like some kind of
weird modification.
Yeah. So they go down to OB and ask OB to help, and OB's just like, is this...
Nah, I'm real busy.
Yeah, he's like, is this more important than like death? And they're like, no, keep doing
we got it.
He's like, all right, I wrote everything you need to know in this handbook, to which Loki and Mobius try to read this handbook.
And they're like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
But little do we know, Casey has read the handbook.
And memorized it.
Yeah.
So I think Casey's going to be more important going forward.
I think so too, definitely.
I have a funny feeling, what if Casey's a variant of OB?
That'd be interesting.
You know?
Because we don't know.
Or somehow related to him. Like his
There's
son
so
or
many
something.
like possibilities.
You never know what their lives are off this timeline or whatever's going on. So we basically, and where OB came from, which we'll get into, essentially we get, I say that a lot, essentially. What we actually get. Not essentially. After they figure that out with the tempad, they go to interrogate X5, which X5 fucking ridicules Loki to a point where Loki like almost loses his cool.
He gets real like Loki.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh,
it was such a good moment. And we'll talk about it in our next video, but we also did kind of like a interrogation kind of thing we'll talk about. But this was so good.
This is great.
And so they try to interrogate him. He's not budging. He's not talking. So they leave, or actually he pisses off Mobius, and Mobius smacks him.
Right.
Full on Will Smith's this motherfucker.
Full Will Smith. This guy just got. Ow! Fuck! Jesus, I didn't realize it was gonna be that hard.
Man, your left hand must really be.
Dude,
Chris Rock.
honestly, I got some like oomph in there.
You
Here,
wanna-
let me see your face.
No, you want to meet my friends, Will Smith and Chris Rock?
That was really bad. Continue with the fucking episode.
So he smacks him, they leave, and then Loki asks Mobius like, "What's going on there? Like, have you never wanted to be a part of, like, see what your life's been?" So they go eat pie, which is the weirdest key lime
pie. Gross, by the way.
I
Not a
love key lime
fan.
pie,
Nope.
but whatever.
Lemon. What's the other? Lemon meringue. Nope.
Mm.
What's the other one?
Uncultured.
You're a bitch. But key lime sucks. But also their key lime was like Jello. What the fuck was that?
Yeah. And so they're eating this, and then they come up with another plan, which is to torture X5.
Which is kind of cool.
And it kind of seems like it's going wrong.
But you have to point out, Mobius says, be mischievous. Be Loki.
Yeah.
It's like, let's do that.
Yep.
And it was a good scene transition from like, oh, we got Tom Hiddleston being in this moment to being like, let's torture this motherfucker.
Yep. And so they put him in like this cube, the temporal cube thing, which if it gets smaller, just like
it'll just crush you.
Yeah, so he doesn't want to die, and Loki is pushing this,
and it's convincing.
Yep,
this is really good
to a point where then they realize it's Mobius and Loki planned this out. They get out of X5 where Sylvie is. They go to Sylvie in a branched timeline,
working at a fucking Macca's.
Yeah, in 1982 in Brock, which we saw at the post-credit scene of last episode that she went there. We knew she was going to work there. We've seen it in trailers. And we, as this is going on, we have B-15 trying to figure out what's going on with these fucking timelines, because it's weird. They're trying to track down Ravonna Renslayer, and she's just not. They have her like information on her tempad. They just can't locate it because she hasn't used it in a while. And I'm assuming like before that, whatever she used when she left, they either couldn't track it down, maybe because she was using something from He Who Remains that couldn't get tracked, kind of thing.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because they should have been able to do it when she zipped out of there the first time. So, like, I don't know. Like, whatever she used must have maybe had that, maybe did have a way to stop trackers on there. I don't know. But it was really weird. But since she was kind of his partner, maybe she had her own separate template.
Maybe, yeah.
Could do that. And anyways, so they have that on file. And then they go see Sylvie, and Sylvie's talking to Loki, saying she's not coming back, even though Loki tells her, "I saw you in the future," and everything. Which I don't believe. I think the person that pruned
think that's a
Loki,
different.
No, I think the person that pruned Loki in that moment that we didn't see is Loki. Because if you look, I watched the episode
back.
Again. Yeah, I watched the episode again, and in the background, you kind of see a figure, and the figure, when you brighten it, because I took a picture of my phone and brightened it up, it kind of looks like the brown jacket he's wearing. So I think that's him from, like, I think this is about to happen now.
Think he jumped, and then
I think it happens in the next episode. I think that now that Sylvie's about to come back to the TVA and find him, I think she's gonna head, like, that moment is gonna happen there. I think Mobius calls, and I think Loki does himself to start the loom again, which I think what's gonna happen is I think he's starting again because I think they keep trying to figure out how to stop the branch timelines from being destroyed, which we're about to get to. I think they're going to try to avoid that. Like, go back again and try, like Groundhog Day.
Right.
Reset button. Try it again. Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah.
Get it right.
That makes sense. I mean?
So we get to Docs, and her TVA agents have been
trying to blow up the branches.
Not even trying. They are blowing up the branches.
Essentially.
Yeah. Don't worry, he'll forget next week. But right now, we're gonna have to deal with this. Okay. And okay. I want to just go off on you, but we don't want to waste time. So, anyways, we see them like blowing up these timelines because X5 is getting nervous with Sylvie and Loki
being in the same area,
and being in one of the branch timelines that he knows is going to get blown up. That's why he was on the sacred timeline for so long. So, with that being said, they go off to find Docs, and they do because they're trying to trace like the branches being blown apart. They find out where she's at with the rest of these TVA agents.
Basically, blow them apart.
Yeah, And so they start like attacking them, blah blah blah, and then it looks like, at least on the TV when we saw it, 3 timelines remain.
There's it
other
looked
than
like
the
3.
sacred
It looked
timeline,
like 3
because those were the only ones that weren't disappearing.
Right.
So they saved 3 timelines, and I think I know what these 3 timelines are, but we'll get to that also. The episode ends after these timelines go off. Sylvie leaves because she's like, those are trillions of people dead. She goes off to her branch timeline, which is not blown up, surprisingly, and is apparently going to work the next day. But then she activates He Who Remains Tempad, which who knows what the fuck that does.
Right, we don't know. If that's his tempad, like, that's a lot of power.
That's a lot of power, and probably takes her straight to the end of time. So she probably can go back and see what's going on. So I think that's how she'll find out. It's probably where she'll get Miss Minutes and maybe find out what's going on.
Oh, that could be. Miss Minutes has been MIA.
Yeah, that's how she gets in the elevator. Whatever she knows about, they have to stop. Because when she saw Loki and found him, she was like, I found you. She was smiling. So it's
right,
like,
she was happy.
She was happy she finished that mission. So whatever it was, there it goes.
True.
So unless she thought it was the current Loki at that time.
Yeah, true, too.
You know?
That'd be, oh man, it's gonna get so complex,
because it could be them,
dude.
because like maybe that Loki just showed up at the right time, you know, like
but
right place, right time. Maybe it was more of like,
dude, it's gonna get
future
complex.
Loki had it, saw him, and said, right, this too, and then like moves on, you know, and starts like doing everything else.
Honestly, just because, not just because, there's been 2 episodes. This is gonna get fucking plex. There's gonna be a lot going on.
It's gonna get definitely more complicated. I think the next episode's not gonna help. I think just like last season, episode 4 will start to explain things, like when we got all the variants kind of thing. Because at the end of episode 3, Loki was pruned,
right,
and we don't know. We thought he was dead. So this one is probably gonna end on a just as big of a cliffhanger to get into like the last 3 episodes.
Would you rather cliffhangers or you rather answers?
I mean, I know it's not going to take that long to get answers, so I'm okay with it, because Loki's the kind of show that I'm okay with. Secret Invasion, everything else, Falcon and Winter Soldier, all did the same thing. 3 episodes in, big finale, like crazy,
some sort of reveal,
crazy cliffhanger, and then resolution. Like Falcon and Winter Soldier was when U.S. Agent killed that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like there's those big moments.
That was crazy. That was
Secret Invasion, I think, was the reveal of his wife.
Was that episode
was a scroll? 3? I think. I don't remember what episode 3 was.
I don't know.
But a lot of these have these,
Did
like
WandaVision episode 3 have something?
I think that's when things started to change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when things started to like mess up.
Morph, yeah.
Yeah, because the first 2 episodes just seemed like regular sitcoms. Yeah, it didn't, like, you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then episode 3 was like, there's the real Wanda. Like, what's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh no, it was episode 3 was Evan Peters.
That was crazy. Yeah. That's what it was.
And we'll get into real quick the timelines, but before that, here's a word from our sponsor.
Thank you for BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you can just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to a therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. With BetterHelp, you can get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you. Any scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Just get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/nerdlocker. The link is going to be right down below in the description.
Man, I can't believe how addicting Cinnamon Toast Crunch is.
Right?
What are you wearing?
A shirt?
You're into scary movies, right?
Kinda.
I see it. Anyway, there's a sick brand that I know of. They make a bunch of like horror-esque type of. Here, I tell you what. Let me just. Better.
Oh. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. You know who makes that?
Who?
7th Ink.
Really?
All artwork, original.
Whoa, that's
you got little bats on you.
But what about you?
What about me?
Oh. But what about your mask? Oh, well,
Get off the ad, dipshit.
I mean, these shirts are awesome though. Like they're really comfortable. They fit nice. Like
Honestly,
this
that's
is
why I threw
great.
one at you. This is pretty lightweight. They don't shrink, and
Yeah,
it's just like, come on, just look at me.
this is great. You know what? Want to grab some popcorn and watch a scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? What the was that?
And we're back. So we have 3 timelines left,
Mm-hmm.
other than the sacred. Obviously, I'm gonna make some theories. I have a funny feeling one of them is a Fox universe, one
I
is
think
the
so.
Sony universe, and one is probably the animated universe with Miles Morales.
You don't think Sony and animated kind of go together? Oh, you talking about Andrew Garfield and then
I think like Andrew Garfield, Venom, Morbius stuff is gonna be separate from
Okay.
that because look at it in Across the Spider-Verse when Spot went to the Venomverse, it was a different universe.
right?
So those are 2 separate things.
Okay.
I just think those are the 4 things that are gonna crash together, and we're gonna get all these characters from these things in one way.
That would. This is probably the time to do that
Yeah.
for it to
So I
actually
think
make
this is
sense.
how they'll branch out into Deadpool. So I have a funny feeling that the timeline, this is my theory, the timeline that Sylvie's in is the 838 Fox universe.
Okay.
And I think at some point in 1982, I don't know how old Wade Wilson is by the time we see him.
Wait, does Deadpool age after he's
It
experimented
doesn't
on?
matter. That happened recently. Wasn't in the 80s. Because remember, X-Men Origins Wolverine doesn't exist.
Right,
He
but
got
like
rid of that
when
timeline.
he's Deadpool, does he age or does he look like an avocado forever?
I think he ages, but slower rate, just like Wolverine, because they're both the same program.
Dude,
They're weapon
Wolverine
back.
does not age. Honestly,
I mean,
Hugh Jackman
you
doesn't
literally
age.
watched Logan.
I know, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like Hugh Jackman doesn't age.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. But regardless, we have this. I think that's the 838 because I'm thinking like either it could be a kid Deadpool, like a child Wade Wilson that shows up to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal and maybe sees a temp
Could
pad
be.
go off, and Sylvie goes through the temp pad to leave. And then at that point, he's like, wait a minute, what was that? And then remembers it when he sees Cable's thing. And like, that's how these timelines converge. It could be something of that sort. Or regardless, that 8th universe, even if she goes forward in time and temp pads out, could cross with Deadpool if this is the 838 universe or an X-Men in general, whether it be Wolverine or something. Or Loki going back in time might run into a Wolverine from like before he got
Right.
like with the bone claws. We don't know what we might see out of this, but I think we're gonna get more Easter eggs to that going forward, especially with the end credits, which we saw after we watched some breakdowns of some people going on the end credit scene where we saw a Hex moment, and because I didn't catch that at first, and the like symbol from Wanda or Multiverse of Madness or whatever. So it seems like they're going with Wanda,
Mm-hmm.
so she might be able to make more timelines herself.
Maybe.
So she might be the Nexus being that like boom, since you made all these realities, maybe she's the key to bringing everything back.
Right.
So they might incorporate Scarlet Witch into this. We might
That'd
get
be
Elizabeth
kinda
Olsen
cool.
in,
That'd be kind of cool.
or at least the
I haven't
Dark
seen her in a while.
Yeah, I think we're about to cross a lot of these. I don't want to consider the TVA cosmic or Kang cosmic, but they're gonna combine this like because Kang is using science, but it's also kind of like a supernatural science.
It's kind of hard to explain.
It's really hard to explain. It's just like very advanced technology
Mm-hmm.
is how he's getting to this. Like the TemPad is just technology.
Right.
The TVA, he used some kind of technology to wipe their minds. Like he's not as big as he says he is. There's just a lot of variants of him. So it's like you go down to the nitty gritty. He's not
powerful. He's just
not
smart.
powerful. He's very smart, yeah. But regardless, we want to have the supernatural stuff like the Werewolf by Night, the Moon Knight, like these kind of like things. We want to see more of that incorporated with Blade coming in and stuff. And I think
Right.
this is just like their way to do it, unless they want to make it where all of those were on another timeline as well that then get converged over. That could
They
be
could
the
do
other
that.
one instead of the animated one. It could be like Man Thing and Blade and all that stuff and Moon
Man
Knight.
thing. What the fuck's man thing?
The swamp looking thing.
Oh, that thing. Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
So they could do all. It was in Werewolf by Night. You'd have to watch it. But anyways, with going with that, you can just incorporate all these things. Moon Knight, all these other shows that just seemed a little bit odder, could be also on
The animal.
No, like ODD. like a little. They're more odd than some of the movies we get that don't seem like they fit into the MCU. But you can dismiss that by saying, "Oh, it's on a different timeline." Like Secret Invasion was on a different timeline, or blah blah blah. All the
Just dust it off.
or just use this to get rid of everything that has not been working.
Right.
Like you easily can get to that, and I think they're going to. I think that was the plan from the get go, and I think they wanted to reboot this way earlier than they even started. Like they probably knew the multiverse saga would be a reboot because it's the easiest way to do it. So I think no matter what, they were going to retool stuff. So I think that's why they just ran so fucking quickly with everything. Because they're like, screw it. If it's not good, it's not good. But like, it's COVID. We need to push out product.
Right.
Push out content. Doesn't matter if it's good. Just fucking give them money and get it out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were getting at. And a lot of people think like, oh, they're learning their lesson now. It's like, no. They just don't have to worry about a pandemic anymore. They don't have to worry about people not being able to go outside anymore. Now people can diverse themselves again. And I think that's what Disney's just going with. Disney was just waiting to drop that ball. And now I just think the only thing they didn't see coming was the writers and the actors strike, I think. And
Right, that was a variable that.
And
they
we
didn't
now
consider.
know with the writer's strike and everything, they went back in and watched these first couple of seasons of the new Daredevil series, fucking hated it, fired
Really?
everyone.
Jesus.
Directors, writers, gone.
Damn.
It was more of a law procedural than,
Putting in talent.
like action and shit.
Yeah.
Apparently he didn't put on the suit until episode 4.
Oh wow.
And apparently they were going to kill off Foggy Nelson or Karen Page or both.
Right. Holy shit.
So I am glad they decided to redo it, but it's going to push the release date, but I'm
So
okay
it's
with
up-
them
we're up to
going with
what,
it better.
2025?
Yeah. And it's supposed to be an 18 episode season 1,
Right. Jesus Christ.
which means it's going to get split in half. Like
Is it
9
going to
and
be?
9.
Are we going to get like 9 all released, or are we going to get like
No,
Disney
we
status?
haven't heard.
Don't know yet.
Don't know.
If
they're
'cause it's
smart-
not on Netflix. It's going to be on Disney, right?
Yeah, it's Disney.
Yeah.
If
We're going to
there's-
get a weekly thing.
If they're smart, they would release like the first like 2.
Probably. We got one with Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them recently we got 2. I forget which one. Was it Secret Invasion? I think Secret Invasion maybe.
Secret. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think it was 2.
But if we're wrong, we're wrong. But if they drop 2 with 18 episodes and like 9 of
That'd
the
be
first
nice.
chunk, like drop the first 2 or 3, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then go weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if it drops in around like the holidays, people are gonna have a lot more time to like sit and watch things, so you
Kinda
can like
binge
have
it.
people binge it. Yeah, and you could drop them like 3 episodes at a time if you want to as well. Like whatever you want to do. It still take a month doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. We'll see what else they end up like
see what happens.
canceling because
true.
this is the first. They're only the things that haven't been sent to light or filmed already, but like a Moon Knight season 2 could or couldn't happen. A WandaVision, which is not getting a season
I
2,
don't
but like
think it is,
they
yeah.
could kill Agatha, or they could like kill that off if they haven't. No, I think they already started filming for that, so they probably won't. But they could retool it.
But we
they
don't
could
know.
retool
Does
post-credit scenes.
Does Agatha take place after WandaVision?
Yeah.
Or before? Oh, okay.
So they could retool post-credit scenes as well.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of room,
They
but
have-
there might be
they
a
have
lot of
space.
axing going forward, and I think a lot of it may have to do with like the Jonathan Majors redo too.
Oh, right.
Whatever they're doing with this like rework, I think they're trying to lay a foundation for a if he won't he, as opposed to one or the other. Just like a middle ground of like if he's great, like but perfect, we could shoo him in. If not, we know exactly what we're doing with
Yeah.
him, kind of thing. So,
Man.
but
A lot
we'll
going
see.
on.
Other than that, what do you give this episode?
Like a 6.
I'll
There
give it,
wasn't
like,
too much going on really. We didn't really get much answers. It was just kind of like we moved forward a little bit
I'm gonna give it a 7
for a
the
50-minute
acting.
episode. Even with Tom, I think Tom fucking carried that episode.
So did Owen. Owen Wilson has been doing really, really well this season. Compared
He's
to last
been
season.
hilarious.
He has been really.
He's
good.
there definitely
Yeah.
like him and the chemistry between him and
We have
Tom
OB, like all the characters.
is really good.
That has been the best so far. Like this episode, the plot was weak, but the character development.
the comedic relief is good.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
But I think Tom carried this episode personally. I think he did really well. Other than that, the rest was kind of like meh. We got like very little information, especially for a 50-minute episode.
Yeah.
The camera work was really good.
hmm
But other than that, that's kind of all I'm sticking with my 6.
Okay. Well, Where can they find you, bud?
What the fuck? What are you gonna rate it?
I said 7.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. I was really involved with myself. You can find me at the Sphere 21 on any social media platform except for TikTok. I am Oliver Kahn VA.
Fucking ego on this guy. My name. You can find me at Aomoria Photography. You can find this studio Archangel Studios Official. And you can find this podcast at Nerd Locker Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you guys next time.
Call me Ego. That's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.